Alrighty, so we got a lot to talk about. There are 4 returning banners coming out in 3.2 for the first phase, right? I'll go over phase 2 closer to when it actually drops. But we have the new character Castorus, we have Fugue, we have Acheron, and we have JQ all coming back. Crazy, crazy stuff. Now, I'm going to go over Castorus' kit first because it was just recently officially revealed, the entire thing. And then we'll talk about the other characters' roles and what they play. I'll be very brief about them, right? Then I'll rank them to say who has the most value to who has the least value. And then we'll talk about who you should summon for who you have, right? Because obviously certain characters are going to need certain other characters to make them look better. I'm not going to be like, yo, you should definitely summon for, like, I don't know, what's a good example? Dot. Like, oh, you should definitely summon for Kafka, and then you own 0 dot units. It's like, okay, it's probably not going to be the best thing. Same thing is going to apply to these characters. So before we jump into it, don't forget to like, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. You know how it is at this point. All right, so Castorus is a 5-star Remembrance Quantum character. Woohoo! More Remembrance characters. She has a special ult mechanic. That's why she has 0 energy right here for her ult cost, just like Acheron and Feijiao. Apparently, they just want every hype character to have a cool, like, ultimate thing, I guess. Anyway, let's go over her skills. So she deals 50% of her max HP to one designated enemy for her basic. Cool, we love HP scaling. Her skill consumes 30% of all allies' current HP and deals quantum damage equal to 50% of Castorus' max HP to one designated enemy, and quantum damage equal to 30% of Castorus' max HP to adjacent targets. If current HP is insignificant, this ability reduces to 1. If Netherwing is on the field, this skill becomes Boneclaw Doomdrake's Embrace instead. That's when she has her Dragon out, right? Her ultimate summons the memosprite Netherwing and advances action by 100%. At the same time, creates a territory lost Netherland, which decreases all enemies all type res by 20%. If the damage boost effect from Castor's Town is active, the effect is extended to Netherwing. Netherwing has initial speed of 165, good lord, and a set max HP equal to 100% of max New Bud. After Netherwing experiences 3 turns or when his HP is 0, it disappears and dispels the territory lost Netherland. Apparently, we're getting whole ass domain skills in Star Rail. You know, they saw Delcon do it and they said, yeah, we gotta do that. Then the enhanced skill consumes 40% of all allies except Netherwing's HP. Castorus and Netherwing launch a joint attack at the target, dealing quantum damage equal to 30% and 50% of Castorus max HP to all enemies. And then, you know, it just puts you at 1 if you don't have enough. Then her technique, after using a technique, enters Nether Veil state that lasts for 20 seconds. While Nether Veil's active, enemies are unable to approach Castorus on their own. While in Nether Veil state, attacking will cause all enemies within the range to enter combat. At the same time, summons the memosprite Netherwing and cause it to advance its action by 100%, as well as create the territory. Netherwing starts the current HP equal to 50% of his max New Bud. After entering battle, consume 40% of all allies' current HP aside from Netherwing. After entering battle and before summoning Netherwing, Castorus gains New Bud equal to 30% of the maximum New Bud. A lot of stuff to remember. Talent. Max Nubud is based on all characters' levels on the battlefield. For each point of HP lost by all allies, Castorus gains 1 point of Nubud. When Nubud reaches its maximum, Castorus' ultimate can be used. When allies lose HP, Castorus and Netherwing's damage dealt increases by 20%. This effect can stack up to 3 times, lasting for 3 turns, meaning you get a total of 60% damage dealt. When Netherwing is on the field, Nubud cannot be gained through talent and HP lost by all allies, except Netherwing will be converted to an amount equal of HP for Netherwing, aka he gets healed, right? So New Bud is how she gets her ultimate, right? The fact that it's based on all characters' levels is really funny. That means that if you are not max level and cannot max level your characters, Castorus is going to be, you know, a little bit worse. Then we have, woohoo, we love global passive. After obtaining Castorus, or with Castorus on the team, honestly, bro, when obtaining Castorus, it doesn't matter if she's on the team, receive the following effective battle. When an allied character receives a killing blow, all allied characters that receive a killing blow in this action enter the Moon Cocoon state. Characters in Moon Cocoon can temporarily delay becoming down and can take action normally. After the action, if their present HP increases, or if they gain the shield effect, they will not be downed. If not, they go bye-bye, right? Now, onto memosprite skill. The basic attack is an AoE, deals quantum damage equal to 40% of Castor's max HP to all enemies. We have the memosprite talent. When Netherwing is on the field, it acts as a backup for allies. When allies take damage or consume HP, the current HP can be reduced to a maximum of 1, after which Netherwing will consume HP at 5% of the original value until Netherwing disappears. Then we have the AoE, aka the skill. Activating Breath Scorches the Shadow consume 25% of Netherwing's max HP to deal quantum damage equal to 24% of Castorus' max HP to all enemies. In one attack, Breath Scorches the Shadow can be activated repeatedly. That is the attack that pretty much is just him shooting fire. Respectively to 28, 34 until 34% the damage multiplier effect will not be reduced before another ring disappears. When another ring's current HP is equal to or lower than 25% of its max HP, activating the ability will reduce HP to 1, and then trigger the ability effect equal to that of the talent Wing Sweep the Ruins. Right? Then, yeah, we have a bunch of stuff. Oh my god, it's everywhere. Support when another ring is summoned, increase damage of allies by 10% for 3 turns. We have the bounce, another ring disappears, deals 6 instances of damage with every instance, and quantum damage equal to 40% of Castor's max HP to one random enemy unit. At the same time, restores HP equal to 6% of Castor's max HP plus 800 to all allies. And then we have this one, consumable HP, yada yada. Even more stuff. There's so much stuff for this guy, bro. But pretty much all you have to remember with this guy is every time you use his skill, he hurts himself, right? So you either want to keep him on the field and heal him, or just go out in one big bang from 100%, and then he does this cool explosion, and that's pretty much all you have to worry about. So, like I said, you either skill until right before you would die, and then you basic attack, or you do all the way and blow up, right? At some point, it'll force the explosion, and you'll have to resummon it, right? Then we have the bonus traces. Each time Netherwing uses Breath Scorch, the Shadow increases damage up by 30%. This effect can stack up to 6 times and lasts until the end of the turn. Then, when Castor's current HP is greater or equal to 50% of the unit's max HP, her speed increases by 40%. When Netherwing uses Breath Scorch, the Shadow deals fatal damage to all enemies on the field or brings them to a point where they cannot lose more HP. Netherwing's speed increases by 100% for 1 turn. Then, the last one, after all allies excluding Netherwing receive healing, converts 100% of healing value into new blood. If Netherwing is on the field, the healing is converted into Netherwing's HP. Converted value for each ally target cannot exceed 12% of new blood's maximum limit. The accumulated conversion value for all units reset after any unit takes action. Our stat bonuses are fucking crazy good. We have 18.7% crit rate, 14.4% quantum damage, and 13.3 crit damage. That's a fucking lot of crit damage. Good lord. Then we have Eidolons, right, which I guess I can briefly go over, right? When enemy target's current HP is 80%, 50%, or lower than this unit's max HP, the damage dealt with the Bone Claw, Doom Produce Embrace, Claw Splits the Veil, and Breath Scorch the Shadow, and Wing Sweep the Ruin is increased by 120 to 140. E2, after summoning the memosprite, Castorus gains 2 stacks of Ardent Will. The maximum 2 stacks of Ardent Will can be possessed at any given time. It can be used to offset Netherwing's HP consumption while using a memosprite skill, while actually advancing Castorus by 100%. In the next usage of enhanced skill, Castorus gains 30% of maximum new blood points. E4, while Castorus on the battlefield, all allies incoming healing increases by 20% when having their HP restored. Kind of funny how a DPS increases allies healing, right? Then E6, when Castorus or Netherwing deals damage, increase quantum res pen by 20%. When Netherwing attacks, it can ignore weakness type and directly reduce enemy toughness. When inflicting weakness break, it triggers quantum. Additionally, increases the bounce count for Netherwing's talent Wing Sweep the Ruins by 3, which is the explosion at the end. So that is Castorus. Castorus is a HP scaling, memosprite summoning character who wants a lot of healing on the team to be able to get the big damage, right? So, with that in mind, our other characters, we have Mr. 5-star Pela, pretty much just used as a support for Acheron. We have Fugue, who is essential for Super Break nowadays, right? Harmony MC is still cool and all, but Fugue having a second break bar is very, very helpful. Plus toughness ignore as well. And we have Acheron, who is the first anniversary DPS. Now, if I had to pick, in my opinion, the best characters to get would be Castorus at the top, because she's probably going to be the best DPS in the game. The only ones who really have a chance of beating her are Mide and Herta, right? And probably Aguila, probably like the most recent DPSs, right? But she's looking extremely busted, like extremely busted. I don't think she's on the same level as Acheron on release, because that was like a whole nother level. But she's definitely going to be a really good DPS, and if you don't have one of the newer DPSs, I highly recommend picking her up. Then Fugue, because without her, Super Break feels just really not great. Then Acheron, then Jiaoqiu. The reason we're having Acheron above Jiaoqiu is because you pretty much would summon for him if you have Acheron, right? So it feels wrong to put Acheron lower, even though Acheron technically is worse of a character, right? She doesn't feel too great to use with Pela nowadays. I have an E2, and every time I use her with Pela, it just I wish I had more, right? So this is the order I would recommend summoning. I feel like technically speaking, Fugue has the best value to summon on, right? But I feel like Castorus is just a better DPS because you summon for Fugue to increase your Super Break teams, and I feel like Castorus was technically just a better choice overall of a team to build at this point because Super Break is not getting as much love as it normally would get, right? Now, in terms of who you should get based on who you have, Castorus wants Tribby like really badly. Tribby RMC is free, right? So let's go down here. So Tribby, RMC, you can use Sunday if you want, if I can find him. Where is Sunday? Sunday, where are you, my good friend? Right here. And in terms of healers, like Luocha and Gallagher are going to be pretty strong. So if you've summoned and if you have Tribby, right, you could literally just build this team right here and you'd be good to go, right? So Castor's team is kind of free to play, but you really, really, really want Tribby. In terms of stuff for Fugue, it's really just this, whereas Ruan May, it's literally just this team right here. And then instead of Gallagher, you would put Linkshaw on the team, and then you just put your break DPS, right? So if you don't have Ruan May, which funny enough, we are getting her for free this anniversary, which is kind of why they're running Fugue, I'm assuming, because you would just run this team, right? And then you would either have Firefly from 74 or Rappa, or maybe they'll rerun Firefly or Rappa, probably Rappa coming soon, and then you can grab that character. You literally have the break like core, right? Of Ruin May, Fugue, and then you just have Gallagher, right? Or Linksha, depending on how long you've been playing or who you summoned for, and you're good to go there, which is kind of crazy to think about. They give you the Super Break core not for free, but you have the ability to get it very, very easily during anniversary. Granted, you're not summoning for something else before Fugue, but that is pretty nice. Super Break is on the downfall though, unfortunately, just because they're moving away from Super Break related stuff. So that is unfortunate. For Acheron, it's really just like Robin, Sunday. You put your really good support, and then you really want him, which is unfortunate, which means for teams you'd run him for, it's literally just, do you have Acheron? No, then you probably won't use him too often, unfortunately, right? And then like Acheron's team is just him, a support, a sustain. Yeah, it is what it is. Tribby would probably not work. She would work with Acheron, right? Especially if I have E1. But you could probably run Tribby on another team like Castorus and then have her be a more attack-related one like Robin, right? Because Castorus isn't going to get much use off of Robin because it's like follow-up attacks, all that stuff. But yeah, it's kind of funny how we have these two characters who are like pretty reliant on each other for get their most value. And it's like, okay, who would you summon on first? It's like, well, if you get Acheron, you really want him. If you get him, there's no real like you can use them in like pure fiction and stuff, I'm sure, for like same uses for Pela, but it's like you really just want them. I'll put them on the same. I'll put them on the same. Honestly, you want them at the same time. I'll just put that same time. Like, if you don't think you can get both, I wouldn't bother even summoning for one of them. Honestly, just go for these two or save for Anaxa. Where's Anaxa? Anaxa. Or if you really like them, Ratio is kind of like old at this point, right? But you'd summon for Ratio or Anaxa instead, right? Ratio would definitely need a lot of love, though. I'm not gonna lie. But other than that, that is pretty much it for the video. Let me know in the comments who you're summoning for. If you're going for light cones, you're going for Castorus yourself. I will have a video on best teams in more detail and like does she need her light cone, pretty much the full Castorus guide in the future. So don't forget to like, subscribe so you don't miss it on that. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. Thanks for watching.